The first thing you notice out here is the silence. Not the quiet kind you get in a library, the kind that hums. It's alive. It presses against your chest until you realize how loud your life used to be. That's where I started, alone at the edge of the forest, with nothing but a truck, a chainsaw, and a half-sketched dream of a cabin that didn't exist yet. No crew, no blueprint. Just an idea. If I can build this, maybe I can rebuild myself. The first morning hit hard. The ground was uneven, my measurements were off, and every log felt twice as heavy as I'd imagined. I laughed at how naive I'd been, but that laugh didn't last long. By noon, I was sweating through my shirt, swatting flies and realizing lesson 1. Dreams look lighter from a distance. The deeper you go, the more real the weight becomes. I spent the first 2 days clearing land, cutting roots, burning brush. My hands blistered and my shoulders screamed. I kept telling myself it was part of the process, that pain meant progress. But at night, sitting by the campfire with sore muscles and cold beans, I learned lesson 2. Progress isn't pain. It's patience. You can't rush something meant to last. By the 3rd day, I started laying the foundation. Gravel, timber, sweat, repeat. The smell of sawdust mixed with wet earth, it felt sacred. Every nail that went in wasn't just structure, it was confidence. I wasn't just building a cabin. I was teaching myself that consistency beats talent every single time. When the first wall went up, it leaned. When the second wall went up, the first one fell. That's when frustration hit like thunder. I remember standing there, hammer in hand, staring at my crooked mess of lumber, and I almost quit. But quitting felt worse than failing. So I took a breath, tore it all down, and started again. Lesson 3. You can't build strength without breaking something first. The days blended together. Wake up with the sun, work till your arms give out, fall asleep to crickets and coyotes. I stopped keeping track of time. The world outside the forest faded. No emails, no traffic, no opinions. Just me and the sound of progress, slow and stubborn. Halfway through, the storms came. Heavy rain, sideways wind, mud swallowing my boots. My tarp flew off, tools scattered, wood soaked. I sat under what was left of my frame and laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I realized nature doesn't care about your plans. That's lesson 4. Respect the elements or they'll humble you fast. When the rain cleared, I rebuilt stronger. I used what I had: thicker beams, better drainage, smarter angles. Every mistake became a blueprint. I wasn't losing time. I was gaining wisdom. By week 3, the shell of the cabin was standing. 4 walls, a roof that didn't leak, windows that opened to the kind of view people pay a lifetime for. I remember the first sunrise shining through that bare window frame. The light hit the wood like gold, and I just stood there, silent. Lesson 5. Fulfillment sneaks in quietly, usually when you stop chasing it. After that, I built the porch. The small details. The things nobody but me would notice: the hidden joints, the alignment of each beam, the curve of the railing. That's when I realized this wasn't about survival anymore. It was about craftsmanship, about doing something right, even if nobody sees it. The forest started to feel like home. I learned which birds woke first, which trees creaked at night, which whines meant rain. Every sound had meaning. Every day had rhythm. By the time I built the stove, insulated the walls, and sealed the last crack, I wasn't thinking about the finish line. I was already changed. On the final evening, I lit the first fire. The smoke curled up through the chimney and disappeared into the cold night air. I sat on the floor, back against the wall, listening to the crackle, and it hit me. I hadn't built a cabin. I'd built character. Lesson 6. Solitude doesn't give you peace. It reveals your noise. Out here, there's nowhere to hide from yourself. Every weakness, every doubt, every excuse, it all shows up. But so does your potential. And when you meet that part of yourself, the one that refuses to give up, that adapts, that learns, you realize the wilderness isn't testing you. It's teaching you. Building that cabin wasn't about escaping life. It was about understanding it. The wood taught me patience. The storms taught me humility. The silence taught me strength. Now, when I step back and look at what stands there, timber against sky, smoke curling from the chimney, sunlight filtering through pine, I see more than a structure. I see every doubt I defeated. Every lesson burned into grain and nail. Lesson 7. You don't find yourself in comfort. You find yourself in creation. Because when you build something with your own hands, truly build it, You stop measuring worth by how easy life feels and start measuring it by what you're capable of enduring. That cabin is imperfect. So am I. And maybe that's the point. When the city feels loud again, when life feels cluttered, I come back here. I sit on the porch, watch the light shift through the trees, and remind myself, peace isn't out there waiting. It's right here, built one nail, one lesson, one failure at a time. And every time I walk through that door, I don't see the mistakes or the sweat. I see proof that I finished what I started. That's all any of us really want. So if you ever get the chance, build something alone. Because in the process, you'll discover the one thing the world keeps you too busy to find: yourself.